search, and one of the things I really like and here we're going to talk about key search, and one of the things I really like about key search that it's very easy to use and it's pretty accurate. It's not like I would say I haven't found a tool that is 100% accurate, but it's very accurate. You can say it's 95% accurate, which is what we need. We usually need a tool that is over 90% accurate, and this one is about 95% accurate. So I highly recommend it. For this example, I'm using the remodeling industry as our example here because I have a lot of experience in that industry, and it's also to show you that it is possible to make a lot of money just because you are ranking websites, you are ranking Google My Business listings. For example, this one, if you are targeting the remodeling, which is the main industry, we said we're gonna have to choose a sub niche. So my sub niche here I'm gonna choose is kitchen. So I added before the main industry, and then I need a city, right? So I'm gonna choose Miami. This is the location. I usually don't put the state because I found that if you rank for city, you're usually gonna be ranking in that state as well, and vice versa. I understand that some states has like similar city names, but from trial and from a lot of tests, I found this is the best way to do it. And then you hit search. So it shows you how many searches this keyword is getting per month, and it says here 320, and the CPC is the cost per click is $7, and then it's showing you the competitive score, how much the competition, how competitive is this keyword, which is they call it the competition score. And the way they calculate it is they take the volume and they take the number of people that are trying to compete, trying to get to the first position for that keyword, whether in advertising or whether in organically, and who are ranking already right now in the top three positions for that keyword. So this is how they calculate that score. And usually it's if it's above 50, it's a little bit high, but if it's below 50, it should be good. You should be able to rank it. I don't depend 100% on it, but it's very close to what you need. So for this one, it's telling you it's about 29 and it should be good. Competition is fairly easy. Well, it's not fairly easy, but it should be good. You can work on this one and get some good results. Uh, let's take another example. Say for example you just want to target the handyman industry. Okay. Now it's just search for handyman in the United States. It's gonna be pretty big, and it's showing you the score for this competition is 55. Like I said, if it's over 50, it's usually high competition, and the volume is 60,500. That's crazy. The CPC, the cost per click, is not very high actually. But if you try to only rank for that keyword in the city, you're probably not gonna get a lot of high quality leads. So the example we're gonna talk about right now is the house cleaning, which is a pretty big industry. Trust me, I have done marketing for a lot of house cleaning business owners, and I believe it's one of the best industries if you are trying just to enter into the local business market. So house cleaning is the second main category from cleaning, but we don't just want house cleaning because it's pretty broad and you're not going to be able to rank well for such a keyword. So what we're going to do is we're going to choose one type of house cleaning. Say for example, move out house cleaning. And then as we said, we want a city. So we would target like a big city like Houston. And it's telling you it's pretty easy to rank for this keyword, but let's remove the house and just choose the cleaning because this is usually how people are searching from looking at the other keywords here. Now it's telling you the volume for this keyword is 170 average search per month, and it's telling you the CPC for this keyword is about $6, $7, and it's telling you the competition score is about 33. So it's a good keyword actually to rank for. So we would use this as well. That's one of the good examples if you want to enter a niche on how to choose the right keyword. Now let's take another example. So this example is going to be for a criminal lawyer in Miami. Let's wait for it and see what's going to happen. So for this one, it's telling you that it's easy, moderate competition score, but the volume is 390, which is one of the, in our bracket of search, we said if the average is between 150 and 300, we can try to rank for it. But if you look at the CPC, it's pretty high. It's very high. So that means the competition in real life is really high. A lot of people are competing to get into top positions for the paid advertising for that keyword. Now, if you try to rank in that city, it will be a little bit difficult. But what will you do, and this is what we're gonna learn in this course, what you do is you take a city next to Miami. It shouldn't be like the same size as Miami, say half the size of Miami, and then you try to rank that keyword in it. And then you're just gonna slash this by maybe 40%. I wouldn't go after criminal lawyer in Miami and try to rank for it. It's not gonna be easy. And for our model of rank it and bank it, we don't usually target those type of industries. But there's just an example to explain to you how to choose the keyword the right way.
Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, we are going to create this amazing parking space finder. And you can say it is kind of a counter as well. So it is telling you how many free spaces do we have and how many spaces overall do we have. So here you can see we have 69 spaces for parking, and out of which 14 are available. And now you can see this car is leaving, this one is leaving as well, so now it becomes 15. So all of the green spots are available to park and the red ones are not available. Now, the best thing about this approach is that it is based on completely image processing techniques. So we are not using any deep learning methods or machine learning. It is a very simple method and it is quite robust, as you can see. So here, for example, you can see that there is a person moving, and even when the person is moving, the parking space is still showing that it is available. So it is not affected by a person moving through the space. So it has to be a big object like a car. So if there is something that is as big as a car, then it will detect it as occupied. Otherwise, it is detecting as available space. And you can also see we have also neglected a few of the spaces, and you can see this region. Actually, let me show it you over here. So this region is not the same as this region. And the reason is because it has this line in between. So it's not like you wrote a for loop and then you shifted it over here with another what do you call for loop. So it's basically we have accounted for all these different changes, and here you can see we have an extra space as well, and here you can see we are neglecting the space as well. So all of these varieties and all of these different approaches we have added in our code, and believe it or not, it is very simple and it is a very good project if you are starting your image processing and computer vision journey. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start creating this project because it is quite a lot of fun and it is quite useful as well. As long as the camera is not moving, this technique should work very well. So let's go ahead and start working. So here we are in our PyCharm project, and you can see that we have named it parking spaces. And we also have carpark.mp4 and carpark.img. So these are the two files that we will be needing throughout this project. So the first thing we will do, we will go to File, Settings, and then we will look for the project interpreter. And over here, we are going to add our interpreter. And this will be from the existing environment that we already have. And we will click OK. And that will add our packages here. So here we will install CVZone, and we will click on install package. Do remember that this is version 1.5.3. So if there's a later version, you can try that. If it doesn't work out well, you can always go back to this version and try the exact same code, and it should work fine. So we will hit OK, and it seems that the OpenCV, NumPy, and the CVZone packages are already installed. So what we can do is we can start off with our file. Now we are going to create two files. One of them will be for the space or the parking space picker. So we will call it parking space picker. And the other one is going to be our main code, which we will run and locate all the parking spaces and see if they are vacant or not. So these two files, by the way, you can download from our website. They will be available for free to download. All you have to do is sign in to your account, and then you can download these files. So here in the parking space picker, what we are going to do, we are going to first of all open up our image. And here in the image, you can see that we have a lot of parking spaces. And what we need to do is we need to mark each one of these as our region of interest. Now, one way to do this is using a for loop. So what I can do is I can start from this point, and I can say that, okay, for X in range, for example, 15, keep going down and creating these boxes. But the issue is that, with that is that these boxes are not exactly of the same size, because the image is not perfectly bird eye view. So it's not taken from the exact top. It is taken from a little bit of an angle. So it's not very clear to see. So therefore, we cannot use the for loop, because while it starts at the correct position, when it starts to accumulate, the error becomes quite big, and we will not be able to get our correct values. So what we can do is we can manually put these region of interest. And another reason why we want to do it manually is because some of the spaces, they are not for parking. For example, this place is for the trolleys. So we don't want to check that. And another thing to note here, that this parking space is similar to this parking space, but it is not similar to the third one. The third one has a solid, pavement in between. So you can see here, this is not present in these two. So if we wanted to replicate it 3 times, we cannot. We can replicate this and this, but even then we will have to neglect these two. And then we cannot replicate it here. Plus, you can see this is a space which is not available, but over here, this space is available. So there's a lot of irregularities within our regions of interest. So it will be easier to do it manually. Plus, we don't expect the camera to move at all. So it will be fixed. So you only have to do this manual process one time, and then it will stay like that as long as you do not move the camera. So this is totally worth going through the manual process rather than automating it every single time, or trying to find these lines by default. So if you use a contours method to find these lines, that's just too much overhead that is not required in this project. We can do it simply by some basic image processing. And that is why this is a good project, because we are not using any complicated methods. We are not using YOLO version 4 or 5 or a mobile net SSD to actually detect the cars. We are simply going to use basic image processing techniques to find the correct car, not to find the correct car, to find whether the car is present or not. So this is a very good way to understand that you don't always need a very complicated method to solve such problems. So we have this image, and then we have this video that will, by the way, the video, the camera actually moves a little bit. I think the video is shot on a drone, so it is moving a little bit, but it should still work fine as long as it's not a very big change. So in reality, if you are doing it on a CCTV camera, then you don't expect it to move. You should have a fixed camera in a fixed position. So in that case, it should be fine. So what exactly are we going to start off with? We are going to start off by creating a file, creating a program that will allow us to select and deselect these parking spaces. We will put them all in a list, and then we will take it to our main code. So one file is for selecting and the other one is for running. So once we select, we are going to save it in a file as well. So the first thing we will do, we will import CV2, and then we will import pickle. Pickle is the package that we will be using to save all the places or the positions of the parking spaces, and then bring it to our main code. So that is what we have the pickle for. And then we are simply going to import our image. So here we are going to write cv2.imread, and then we are going to read our image, which is parking space picker. No, it's not that. It's car park image.png, and we are going to save it in image. So that's simple as that. And then we are going to create a while loop. We will say while true, and then we are going to say cv2.imshow, and we will show our image, and we will call it img, and then we will write cv2.waitKey, and then we will give a 1 millisecond delay. So if we run this, this should open up our image. There you go. This is our image. It is called image at the top here with the title. And yeah, so now what we need to do is we need to create a rectangle around it. So we need to create a rectangle at that exact position. So just for testing, not for actual values. So what we can do is we can write cv2 dot rectangle, and then we will put it on our image. Let's say we put it on 100, and let's say 100. And then the second point is, let's say 150, and the height, or maybe the width will be more. What is the width? It's about 100. So it should be, let's say 200. And then this should be around 50. So let's say 150. Then I believe we have the color. Yeah. So the color, let's put it at 255, 0255. That will give us purple color. And the thickness, let's put it as 2. So let's run that. There you go. So what we are trying to do basically is to try to see what exactly is the size of our rectangle. So once we have that size, then we can fix the width and the height. Then all we need is the initial position. So the X and X1 and Y1. This is what we need. And then we will automatically generate X2 and Y2. So this is the basic idea. So let's try to find this. I believe we can do it maybe here. So this is 100. So maybe 200 something. So let's say this is 230. And this is a little bit less. So let's say 80. Okay, so this is 230. It should be around here. So this should be around here. So it's much less than that. Let's do one of them at the time, one time. So let's go back 50. I think 50 is good. So the width is good. Now we need to push down the height. So the height right now is 230. Let's make it 270. Oh, sorry. This is the one that is being okay. Okay, we need to add something here. So let's say this is 500 for now. Let's just put it a big value so that it doesn't interfere. There you go. So yeah, we have already crossed that point. So we were trying to get this one, I believe. So let's say 200. So maybe 20 less, 180. No, 195. Yeah, so a little bit less than that, 192. Yeah. So let's say it is 192, and now we need to know the width. The width, let's say right now is 50 and 200, so it's 150. So let's say we put it at 120, 125. That's less. So we will put it at 140. 170, little bit less, 160. Yeah, so maybe a little bit less, 157, let's say. Yeah, I think that's good enough. And then we have this, the heights. The height, let's say, is around, this is 192. So let's say 230, a little bit more, 240. Yeah. So I think this is a perfect rectangle that represents one parking space. So 157 minus 50 is our width. So we have width and we have height equals to, so 157 minus 50 is 107. And then our height is 192 and 40 is 48. So let's see if that is fine. So this is the width and the height that we have. And then later on, we can now just put one single place, one single circle or dot, and that will create this width and height rectangle based on the values that we have put here. Okay, so let's keep this. Let's keep this. Let's not remove it. Now, what we will do is we will put a position list. We will call it position list is empty. And whatever positions we have, we are going to put here. So every position will have an X and a Y. So just the starting point. And then later on, we will add this width and height to it. So for displaying purpose, and we will do it in our original code as well, the main code. So what do